I'm Scott.
I'm Brian.
We're Schwartz on Sports. As you know, the baseball season kicked off this week, and the Tribe kind of struggled a little bit. They really should be 3-0, but because of Mr. Chris Perez, our closer, he blew 2 of the 3 games and almost blew the 3rd game tonight. But we were able to beat the Jays one time, so we're 1-3. I don't think there's too much cause of concern because, it's one series, first series of the year. We're 1-3, should be 3-0. I think we're all right. The first game went 16 innings, the second game went 12, so our bullpen's a little decimated at this point. But
the starts were good.
No, yeah, our starters are kicking some ass. Ubaldo had a no-hitter through 6 2/3 yesterday.
Masterson threw a gem.
Masterson was good. D-Lo threw really good today. So I think, if we stay healthy, we'll be all right. Just need some offense.
And if we learn how to hit the ball.
That's what I mean.
If it's a homer, we score. If it's not, we can't.
Yeah. But, I think we're right there. I believe the Chi Sox come into town for the next series before we head on the road. So I think we'll be all right. And, the division we're in, you're going to be right there with the Royals. They always surprise you every couple of years.
And Twins, in my opinion.
Yeah, the Twins and Royals are right there.
The Tigers are the big dog.
Tigers are the ones we're up against. But, I think everybody goes through stretches. We get hot, stay hot. We'll be right there with them. It's all going to come down to offense. The pitching is really, really solid this year, and it's just going to come down to the offense.
So if we get hot at the plate or not.
Yep. So next up, we're going to discuss the NCAA championship game because last week Brian and I both agreed that Kansas would roll. They did roll. They're up by 9 at half against Kentucky, but then they kind of gave it away at the end because I think they had it in the bag and they got close at the end.
They let up, or it would have been a 10-point game.
But Kansas won handily. Kentucky won handily. Yeah. I don't care if Kentucky played Ohio State or Kentucky; they would have rolled either team.
It was over.
But that game is done. Basketball is over. Thank God. I hate basketball, but it's a sport, I guess. We must talk about it.
Yeah, so congratulations to Kentucky. Your coach sucks. He's a dick, but whatever.
Yeah, Calipari is such a dick. But on that same note, with college being over, the NBA playoffs are going to be approaching, if anybody out there even cares, because the NBA is a joke.
Yeah.
But
2 weeks left?
Yeah, I think there's like 10 or 11 games left in the season before the playoffs start. And then once that's over, it's football time. And speaking of, NFL changed their uniforms to Nike from Reebok. Some of the uniforms, well, actually most of the uniforms.
There's only one that changed.
Yeah, the Seahawks changed pretty big.
Yeah.
They actually look kind of cool, I think. Their helmets are pretty cool. But the Browns, they display a brown Cleveland Browns jersey. And again, they say they're probably going to wear white for all games. White is hideous. Yep. Why would you wear white all the time? You wear white on the road, and then most teams that aren't the Browns wear their team color at home. The Browns wear white.
Yep.
It's boring.
Why it's under debate, I have no idea. Why wear white at home? Everyone buys the brown uniforms. Everyone wears the brown uniforms.
Your team colors should be displayed when you're at home. Everybody wears your team colors at home.
Plus, it looks better with the brown tops.
Yeah, brown and orange pants, baby. Brown tops, orange pants.
Bring it back.
Awesome.
Bring it back.
So, the Browns did tweak a couple things. The stripes on the side went a little bit different.
They went with the new uniform instead of
the new kind of uniforms, like the wicking kind.
Yeah, the breathing in the neck so their pads don't come out, and breathing down the legs.
And I think there has an option if you have a visor, you can have the elf on it.
Yeah, if you have the visor on the 2 tabs of the visor, there's a little brownie on them.
Brownie the elf, that's classic.
Whoever wears the visor will have the little brownies on their helmet.
Yeah, that's cool.
Which is about damn time.
But other than that, the uniforms are just new material. You're not going to see anything drastically changed for any of the teams, really, except for the Seahawks. So just want to throw that out there. If you do have old Nike jerseys and you want it, old Reebok jerseys, you want to get new jerseys, they're going to be Nike. Of course, they're doing it to make everybody buy new shit. I'm not buying new shit until we get a player that's going to be here for a while.
That's not why they're doing it.
They're
doing
it
because they got more money.
Yeah, and it's better material, and it's kind of cool. But the new stuff is Nike. I looked online at NFLshops.com, and it's cool shit. You really can't tell the difference in a lot of the stuff. It looks the same as Reebok stuff, but it is Nike. Some of the shirts and stuff, it's
the shorts and stuff,
the polos, all that kind of stuff.
Yeah.
But the jerseys are slightly different. If you want to get an upgraded jersey, that's it. So from the jerseys, we're going to transition to the draft, and I'll let Brian do his thing.
All right. What we wanted to talk about today is if we stay at the 4-hole. We want to discuss the difference between Blackman and Richardson, who'd be better for us. And let's start off with Blackman, Starscream. In college this year, he had 121 catches, 1,522 yards, which is about a 13-yard average, which is what we really need. and 18 touchdowns. A man that can find the end zone.
He can sniff it and get in.
Yes, he can. He was a 2-year full-time starter. He was he was a redshirt freshman. He only got in and not that much, but whatever. And over the last 2 years, he's topped 100 catches by plenty.
And we had a receiver on the Browns top 68 since I think that's what
Little had it, yeah.
But other than that,
last year he had 121, and that's just ridiculous.
Yeah.
He's got great hands, playmaking ability after the catch. He knows how to cut, which you said slant man last week.
Yeah, because like I said last week, some people call him slantman, which like I told Brian last week and told you guys out there, you want somebody who can run the slants and break them in the West Coast offense. That's the bare bones of the offense.
Exactly.
You slant and go, man.
Yep. And what he's well known for is making those acrobatic grabs in midair, just adjusting his body, twisting it in midair. It's just insane.
With Colt McCoy as your quarterback, you're going to have to do some twisting.
Yeah.
So, we need somebody like that.
And just to bring this up, just in case no one ever saw this, Blackman was in there doing the sports science, and they did all this crap, having him turn, all this. They said after he did all the tests, he could catch any ball thrown to him in the radius of a 2-car garage,
Damn.
which is insane.
And with a quarterback that's not that accurate and has not as great an arm strength as you want.
And I just want to say, can Richardson do that? I don't think so.
No, but Richardson can do a lot of things.
But we'll get to him. We'll get to him. But he also has loose hips, quick feet, and body movement to get off the line, get separation, and release. But since he doesn't have that top end speed, that's why he needs that. And as an example, Jerry Rice had exactly that. He didn't have the top end speed, but he knew how to get off the line.
It's not about the 40 for me. It's about football speed. It's about game speed. Can you get away from guys after you catch the ball? Yeah, the 40 times nice, but it's
get
not
off
everything.
The line.
Right.
If you can get off the line, it doesn't matter how fast you are. If you run a good route, they're screwed.
Yep.
And that's what Jerry Rice was good at, and that's what Blackman's good at.
And with a quarterback that isn't really a franchise quarterback, people are going to be bumping those receivers all the time. You got to be able to break away from that and get open.
And he's a good guy.
He is.
He works with that cancer patient he went and visited. They have a really close bond right now. He's not a bad person. Yeah, he got a DUI.
Yeah.
Big whoop. Every high school kid gets one.
I would say
college kid. I'm sorry.
A lot of college kids get one. I didn't get one.
If you're at a party and something gets busted, you're screwed.
Yeah.
And I wanted to bring up wide receivers. They have a lifetime span of, I'll say, 10 to 15 years.
Yeah,
I said 12, but 10. And people say he won't affect every play, but I think he will. He's going to take on their best cornerback. He's going to have the safety spying him. And that takes those two players out of the play every time.
Well, yeah, for people out there that don't understand football all that well, you're a defense, you're a quarterback, and you have a stud receiver out there. The defense has to roll its coverage to that receiver. Yeah. So that means another receiver has to be open by default, or more open than they normally would be.
It's going to take the pressure off the receivers and also Colt McCoy.
Right. And because they got to press coverage and roll it over to that guy, it's going to open the running lanes up too.
If he's not open, the whole left side, if he's on the right side, is open.
Yep. Plus, he can play the slot. He's a perfect. If you had a good receiving core, he's an ideal slot guy too, on occasion.
And just a couple more points I wanted to point out. Receivers that have been picked in top 5, top 10, they've been panning out lately.
Mm-hmm.
Last 5, 10 years, they've all been. If you pick them, they're it. And bringing up my major point, Peyton Hillis ran for over 1,200 yards 2 years ago, right?
2 years ago.
Did that seem to help out Colt McCoy?
Colt McCoy wasn't the starter 2 years ago.
Halfway through he was. Did it help him out?
No.
So what makes you think Trent Richardson, even if he runs for 1,000 yards, is going to help him?
He could run for 2,000 yards.
We need people that can catch the ball.
Yeah.
Drafting a legit wide receiver to answer.
Yep.
And just to give off this, he's 6'1", 210 pounds, ran a 4.46.
And ideally, in my opinion, for a receiver that's quote unquote your stud, your number one receiver, whatever you want to call it, I would like the guy to ideally be more than 6'1". But as fluid as he is and his hands, it's not.
But it doesn't matter if you have Little. He's 6'3".
Yeah.
Carlton Mitchell, if he plays, he's 6'4".
Yeah. You got to think about Mitchell. You got to think about Little. You still got Qua out
Cribbs
there.
Is 6'1".
You got Cribbs.
He's a big boy.
I still don't consider him a starting receiver in the league.
Oh, me either, but he's still there.
He is. And you got Norwood in the slot. So if you do draft Blackman, that shores your receiving core up.
Yeah.
You have no more excuses at that point if you're Colt McCoy. You've got all the weapons you want. Well, granted, we still need a better right tackle.
Well, with a legitimate receiver out there, that's going to make Little a perfect number 2. And if you can't move the ball at those two, even if you don't even draft a running back, you have Obadiah and Jackson, you should still be
But
able
you
to
can
move the
get a
ball.
running back in the second or third round that's going to be better than anyone we have right now.
Exactly.
And
But
on to that point,
our overall grade for him is an A-.
Blackman we've got listed as an A-.
He's a low risk.
He's more of a low risk in our mind than Trent Richardson is.
Yep.
And Brian's going to talk about Trent.
Then that brings us to the little monster, 5'9", 222 pounds. Ran a 4.46 as a pro day.
I mean, for as
He's
big
got
as
some
he
speed.
is, he's got some speed.
And his only year as a starter. Remember that. He's only started one
Good
year.
and bad with that. One is he doesn't have that many miles on the tires, so he's going to be a younger.
Yeah, we'll get into that.
All right.
He's got 283 carries, which is about normal, I guess. 1,679 yards, 1,679, 6-yard average with 21 TDs.
Which in the SEC, that's insane.
Which is 3 more than Blackman, and he's catching a ball. So that just tells you how good Blackman is right there.
It tells you how good Trent is.
That too. But if they get him on the goal line, it's not hard to punch it in.
No.
And then
That's good for us lately, though.
he runs with power between the tackles. He has great ability at that. And another point I want to bring up, Nick Saban, he takes him out a lot during the season. Durability and injuries could be a big factor. He has not played a full year as a workhorse. He should have been at around 350 carries if he's a workhorse. But he displays average hands out of the backfield. I mean, they're good, but they're not great. He's dropped a few balls that he should have caught, easy balls. He shows good vision behind a stout line, which he will not have in Cleveland. I'll tell you that right now. Most of his yards are due to his stout line constantly allowing him to move into the second level on every time he touches the ball. Every time.
Oh, he'll get in the secondary.
We'll see. I don't think he will.
Not every time.
A stout line,
quite a bit of frequency.
A stout line in the SEC, just pushing him into the second every time. It's not going to happen in the NFL.
No, but he's still powerful.
If they load the box in the NFL, he's toast. It's not college.
Right.
And he's got loose hips, got quick feet, and that's good. I mean, I'm not. He's good on that part. A lifetime for a running back, 6 to 10 years. Just depending on how beat up you get, or if you don't, whether you play or not. And a running back I think he'll affect 15 to 20 plays during a game.
At least.
And a point I wanted to bring up, there's been 5 running backs taken in the top 5 since 2005. Of those 5, I think it's Ronnie Brown, Cadillac Williams,
Reggie Bush,
Darren McFadden,
I'm the MC.
And I don't even know who the other one is. But they've each ran for 1,000 yards once, and they've all been hurt consistently. Do you really?
And the guy's hurt coming into the league. He had knee surgery. I mean, it's not major surgery.
But do you really want to gamble when the odds are against you like that? Yeah. Every running back that's in the top 5 gets hurt.
But at the same point, the people on the other perspective playing devil's advocate is we passed on LT. We passed on all these other great backs. Where do you want to go? Do you want to be known as passing on the next back? I don't know. I mean, if you know he's going to be a stud, you can't pass on him. But at the same time, you don't know. So what, do you go the safer bet or do you go the risky bet? The Browns have always gone the safe bet. So, I don't know. You can't be safe all the time and expect to get talent that you need.
Yeah. And another thing I wanted to bring up is...
Yeah.
A running back relies a lot on the O-line, right?
Yeah.
Richardson's O-line was one of the best in the league. Country.
Yeah.
This makes him appear better than he actually is.
But he was also in the SEC, so you're going to get best defenses in the country.
Okay.
I'm just saying.
But that brings up Mark Ingram to me.
Ingram is not a stud.
He put up better yards than him.
Yep.
More touchdowns.
Yep. I know.
And he's a bust.
Yep.
That's all I got to say.
We're going through this weekly to kind of get better, give you our analysis on the picks as we get closer to the draft. And I believe I heard today the rumor is the schedule for the season is going to be released on April 17th. If that's the case, we're going to kind of break that down for you next time too. So until the draft, I mean, our show is going to be the focus on the draft and, the schedule and that kind of thing. So as that stuff's released, we'll kind of break that down for you too.
And I want to break down our mock real quick. Really quick. I got number 4, we got Justin Blackman. 22, we got David Wilson. In the 3rd round, we got Levante David. In the 4th round, we have Levy Adcock. And that's it for all we got right now. If you want to leave questions at the end, we'll pick the best one, and we'll answer it on our next show.
We'll talk to you next time.
Yep.
We're Schwartz on Sports.
See ya.
Out.